Hey, I'm so excited to have you, Kim. How have you been?
They're great. I can't complain. I've had
Good.
some issues with thyroid and everything. And
Okay.
as you know, I did Andy Cohen the other night. It was
Yeah,
Wednesday night.
yeah.
Little late for me. Car picks me up at 8. You don't get there till 9. You don't walk on until 10. So I get home and I'm fine. And I wake up at 5 a.m. And that's when like it all hit me because I'm not 100% well, with the thyroid and everything. I'm going to my endocrinologist tomorrow. But it's really funny how your mind takes over and your adrenaline goes. But as soon as it was all done and said, I was like, oh,
Oh,
but
what?
I love doing it and I love the show.
Right. I love Andy Cohen now. So I obviously, of course, wanted to have you on because
Too.
when I had worked with you over the summer, so
Uh-huh.
many of my clients, my followers, they were like, Andrea, she is iconic. I'm like, yes,
Oh,
I know. Trust me.
I
I know.
love that.
Yeah, no, so many people were so excited that you even did like your book, that you did your book signing here. I have so many people who, of course, like love reality TV and whatnot, but so many people love you. So
That
many
makes me
people.
feel really
Yeah.
good. It really
And
does. It's very lovely. That's
you
lovely.
know what? Even so many people like asked me, like, oh, like, how was it meeting Kim D?
Ah.
Like, whatever. And I told them all, I'm like, she is so nice. Literally greeted me at the door with your two puppies. You gave me a hug, a kid. Like, I'm like, she is the
Thank
nicest
you.
person ever. I promise. She really is. How did you like Rhode Island?
I
Right?
loved it. I really did. I want to come back. The people
Yes.
there were fabulous. The restaurant we had the book signing at was fabulous.
Yes.
You were fabulous.
Good.
I
Good.
mean, you were at Dolores's house. That was fabulous. Like, yeah, no,
Right.
it was great. Only good things to say about Rhode Island. I can't wait for the show to start.
I know. Of course, you were just on Watch What Happens Live. How
Yes.
did that
The
go?
show was fabulous. So
Good.
everyone, it was really funny because people were putting a lot of input into the timing of it.
Okay.
So when I first wrote the book, okay, I really didn't reach out or do anything. I waited for the book to take gross and get some legs. And
Yep.
then Teresa and I had the big makeup. And then I gave Teresa was doing Andy Cohen. And I gave Teresa a book for Andy Cohen that I signed. I put something cute in there. She
Oh,
gave it to him. And at that time, Watch What Happens Live reached out to me. And for some reasons, we didn't connect. Like I saw their email, but I don't think I could go on the night that
okay.
they wanted me to go on. With that said, then it's time is going by. And I'm like, I really want to go on. I really want to bring my book on. So, because the show, Rhode Island's coming on, and I
Yep.
know Dolores will be on soon. I'm like, why don't you just have me as a bartender when Dolores is on? And that won't be for a while. So 2 days later, I get an email from Watch What Happens Live, I guess Andy, because I DM'd Andy, and he must have said, get her on.
Yes.
So it was lovely. It
Oh,
was love. I had such a great time. I had a great time with the kids.
you looked
They,
amazing. Yes. You
yeah,
looked
so
so good.
all in all, it was a great. I love seeing Andy. He's very good to me, very respectful.
Yeah.
Came to the green room to say hello to me. In between takes, he came to the bar to talk to me. It was great. I
Oh,
enjoy it. I enjoyed going there, and it was worth staying up late.
definitely worth it. Absolutely.
Yes.
When New Jersey, when like rumors started floating around New Jersey that they were going to start a franchise there, how did those rumors kind of start?
So I owned Posh. I
Yeah.
had just opened.
Yes.
So whatever year it was, let's say it was 2008. I think
Okay.
that's what it was.
Yep.
I opened Posh in August.
Okay.
And September, like August was a soft opening. So September when it was really open, and who comes walking in but Danielle Staub because she lived in Wayne. And
Yes.
that's where the store was. And she starts telling me this crazy story. I'm on this show. It's a little show. She said, and there are a bunch of animals that I'm filming with. You have no idea. They're crazy. I'm afraid of them, this and that. Now, her and Jacqueline were still friendly. Jacqueline was in the mall because I was in outside mall and she was at the
Okay.
cleaners. Jacqueline comes in. So I became friends with both. Danielle and I became closer friends. My boyfriend at that time was Michael. He had passed away since. He would take her out and whatever, and then things happened. She just acts crazy, and you can't really stay friends with Danielle Stop. You just can't. It's
Right.
impossible because it's not wrapped too tight. The head spins around like The Exorcist. So I find out about this show, and of course it wasn't on the air yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Now it comes on the air. And I'm like, oh, I see the table flip. Now I know what she's talking about. That
Yeah.
they got before the show comes on. It's time to do the green screen. You know when they come out with the family. This is
Yeah.
before, right before the show is going to air. This is
Yep.
the first story. And Danielle asks me to come kind of as a bodyguard because she was
Okay.
afraid of them. They put her in a separate room.
Okay.
And I go waltzing all around. I'm having a ball. So I meet all the producers. Carlos King was the big producer at the time. And then now they start filming season two. My boyfriend at the time buys a $10,000 table in Caroline Manzo's backyard. It was a political table.
Okay.
And the producers recognized me from the photo shoot. He says, so Danielle is not talking to anyone right now. So he goes, would you film? We're drinking. We're
Right. So it's
wasted
like,
already. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
like,
Everybody at the table signs releases and I film. So I found out about the show when they walked into my store, and
okay.
that's the entanglement.
Right.
That's it.
I also feel like Posh was honestly like such a large part of the show, especially the beginning. There were so many scenes filmed in there.
Yes.
Now, when
Yes.
they would film in the store, now would you know about that?
Yes.
Okay. So how was that process like? Like, would they just reach out to you and be like,
Reach out to you. They say, can we film there Wednesday? So what yeah, I would be like, yeah, what
oh,
time? They would tell me they came in before, like an hour before, because they got to set up the lighting.
right.
They have to,
Yeah.
right. And then they would pull the shades all the way down and we'd have to close the store. And they filmed. Now, the camera's right here. Remember, Posh was only 500 square feet. It
Right.
was small. Camera was right here, and like people ask me, like, were you nervous? Honest to God, there was not, no, I was never nervous. So we would have the mimosas. I would have them ready for the girls. Now I wouldn't touch a drop of alcohol while I was filming because I couldn't control. Like I get a little loopy now because I don't drink that much. But back then we were drinking wine, like you name it, we were drinking, having a good time. We
And
were having a good
that's
time.
what made the show, I
Yeah.
swear. And I sort of like majority of those Posh scenes are like staple scenes in the show. Really are.
Listen, I'm going to agree with you.
I really mean that. Like wholeheartedly, Real Housewives of New Jersey was one of the first franchises I ever watched, like years ago. But you
Right.
were like someone I noticed right from the beginning. That's why
Thank
even
you.
like, when you came to Rhode Island, now of course, like that I'm older and like own my business and stuff, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm going to work with her
And you
again.
were fabulous. My
Thank you.
makeup was off the charts perfect. I
Thank
loved it. For someone to walk in like that cold and not like you knew me from TV or whatever,
you.
for you to do such a flawless job, that's kudos to you, honey. That
Thank
is
you.
kudos to you. You did
And
a
you know,
flawless job.
so many people have asked me, they're like, Andrea, how did you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, I just go. I mean, what do
You
I
did.
lose? Yeah, why not?
And you spray tanned me too. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know.
you were the jack of all trades.
Yeah,
And you nailed it. You
thank
nailed
you.
it. I would
Yeah,
listen. If you lived in Jersey, you'd be here once a week, my friend. Okay,
absolutely.
I would
Right?
love
I
it.
know. Seriously, I
Yeah,
absolutely be.
yeah.
So I love that like they filmed so much in the store. What do you think one of like the craziest scenes filmed in the store was?
In the store, the craziest, well, the most fun scene was the
Yeah.
first time Jacqueline and Teresa walked in, and I made them mimosas and gave Teresa the diva glass, and I still have that.
Yeah.
That was we would have, listen, when they used to come to the store, we would have so much fun. And I'm going to tell you an interesting story. So
Yep.
the two of them come to the store
Okay.
and we're drinking a little mimosas. And then we're like, you want to go out? And they're like, yeah. So we go to Novelli restaurant down the street. And Teresa says to me, what would you do if you thought your husband was cheating? Would you get a private eye? And I said, yeah. And Jacqueline goes, don't say that. Like, that'll break up a marriage. Don't say that. I'm like, Jacqueline, if I thought my husband, yes, I would. I wouldn't. I go, and Teresa, if you're thinking that, or if you have any inkling, you should know. Is that bizarre?
I'm sure at the time a lot of people were like, "Oh, Kim's crazy, Kim's this,
Yes,
that," but it's like, no, you were just honest, and
I was honest.
I don't think
Yeah,
people like they hate honesty. They
they
think
do hate
like
honesty. They
me.
didn't like me because of it.
That's my favorite part. It makes the show. Did you like being a part of the show? I know you liked film.
Loved it.
How many of the reunions did you?
Two reunions, but I think I was on 8 seasons.
How different are the reunions compared to like a regular filming?
For me, really, well, the first reunion I did was
Yep.
after Joe Borga and I had the fight.
Okay.
I play with the big boys. Okay.
Yep.
We went to the Borgata. hotel in Atlantic City the night before. I check in, I bring my friend Kristen with me. And at that time, they would give you DVDs to put
Okay.
in, and you would watch the finales to see. I didn't know Joe had continuously called me those filthy names. Like me and Kristen were like, what did he, like, look, he
Right.
was crazy. He was crazy. So when I was checking into the hotel, before I even seen that, I run into Caroline Manzo. Everyone's checking in. Caroline, do me a favor. She goes, don't go so hard on Joe. Blah, blah, blah. We don't need that. I'm like, listen, I'm going to go as hard as I want. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to go as hard as I want. He said a lot of shit and I'm going to go for it. With that said, now they bring the DVD and I really see what he did. So now the next day, I go into Teresa's suite, and Priscilla was doing both of our makeup. I was walking on that stage locked and loaded. Andy asks me the first question, and Joe Gorga goes, can I just say something first before you answer? I'm like, no. He asked me the question, I'm going to answer it. Andy asks me the second question, and Joe Gorga does it again. And Andy said, can we hear him out? I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? Because I'm ready to hit him between the eyes. He gives me almost a 20-minute apology.
Of
Now,
course.
they said I couldn't bring Kristen on the
Yep.
set.
Hmm.
And I said, if she don't go, I don't go. Because I wanted a witness. Because I
Yeah.
know they read it. We couldn't believe it. We could not believe the apology. And with that said, Andy, who's my boss, looks at me and said, can you please accept his apology? So I said, okay. So we fought, but not like it would have been. You understand what I'm saying? So it lightened up the load because I was ready. But it put, like, when Andy says that to you, he's saying it for a reason.
Right.
I acknowledged it, I agreed, and we put it to rest, and I accepted his apology.
And I feel like Andy also knows, well, I feel like anyone also knows this. I can even tell from TV. You are like, you'll go full balls to the walls.
He
Yeah.
diffused it
Yeah.
because he knew I was coming in strong.
What do you think, like, the worst part of filming scenes or just filming with the other ladies was? If
The,
even there was anything you didn't love about it.
the editing, and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
So when I'm in Caroline's backyard
Yep.
and we're talking,
Hmm.
and they put them all at our table.
Yep.
They show me walking. No, we were at our table and they bring them to my table. What the editors did was saw me walking back from the ladies from the bathroom, and it looked like I sat at their table to talk about Danielle Staub. That is not the case. They also asked me what was going on with Danielle. I said, well, she owes me money and she's not answering me. And I'm a little upset because we were friends. Then, then Danielle comes in, she pays me, we make up. But what they did was they showed that scene first.
Okay.
They say that I'm two-faced. I saw that. I'm like, this is me. Oh, is that the way they play this game? I can play that and I can play it better. And
Ab-
I think I did. I learned
Absolutely.
real fast. So it's the editing. Even when I did the second reunion with the Clink Clink,
Yep.
there were so many other things that I said to them, Melissa and Teresa, who I'm friends with now. So many things that I said that when I walked off the stage, Lucilla D'Agostino, who was the head producer, goes, man, Kim D, you just got your own show. Now, of course, she wasn't giving me my own show, but she said the performance, the things that came out of my mouth I blew them away. They cut a lot of it because they don't want their stars to be ripped apart. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I didn't like.
And now, do you even see any of the edits before they're released? I didn't
Nope.
think so. So that
Nope.
must be like so challenging because it's like you must be sitting there like, wait, I said so much more.
Correct.
This happened, that happened. Like that's so difficult.
Yes. And what they did was they kept showing me sitting there not saying anything. So the girls would say something nasty, and like you would see me like, now you know me for 5 minutes. You know me from TV. You know me. Would I ever sit there and take that shit? I'm gonna give it back to you twofold. So
Right.
I was a little annoyed at that, but all in all,
It
it
was,
was a lot of fun. You
yeah.
know what I mean? All in all, it was a wonderful filming the posh fashion shows. Even when Teresa and I did the piece of shit Kokora, it was to me funny. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I love when it came back and I watched it. I go, you know what? Even when Teresa and I made up, I go, we made really good TV. We made good TV when we were friends, and
Yep.
we made really good TV when we were enemies. So that's what it's all about.
No matter what, at the end of the day, you guys, both of you, and the
Yeah.
whole cast of Real Housewives of New Jersey,
Yes,
everyone contributed to such good TV. Like
I
that
agree.
has been on for so long. Real Housewives of New Jersey. Did it make Posh more popular?
Oh God, it was an international name.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine the business it brought in for you.
And the people that would come from
That's amazing.
all over to come to see to see Posh, the original Posh. You know, the set we filmed at the second Posh too,
Yeah.
but the original Posh was like a diamond in the rough. It was so cute, all black with the crystal chandelier, the mirrored ball. You know, it was adorable. It really was.
Would people ever like call the store trying to,
Yes.
yeah, ask for you, I'm sure.
Well, and you know what they did in the beginning with the Dina Manzo? Oh, you're Two-Face, and they'd hang up on me.
Yeah.
It was really funny. That happened for a good month, and then everything died down.
Obviously, you know Dolores from Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Do
Yes.
you know any of the other cast members?
Liz McGraw.
Oh
Liz
yeah.
McGraw is a
Yep.
sweetheart. And that's all I know. But you know, I do know people from Rhode Island, like my friend Susanna.
Okay.
Her daughter, her Susanna was had her own show. She was on the pageant, the Bravo pageant show, Susanna Barrett. So they're my friends, and they're the ones who did the book signing for me.
Now, will you be watching?
I will definitely be watching and I will be covering it.
I was gonna say we want to know your opinion as well. You
I,
can't.
I will come back on your show anytime you'd
Absolutely.
like, and I
Yeah.
will cover it with you.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
definitely. I can't wait till it comes out. I spray tan one of the cast members. I'm excited to see it and how it all plays
Yes.
out. And I'm excited to see Dolores's role.
Me too.
Excited to see like how that kind of plays out.
It's more cameos than a full friend. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think what they did was they wanted to tie Jersey in one way or another because they think they're very similar, the
Yeah.
girls. So Dolores was real friends with Liz, and they're like, why not bring Dolores on, and Dolores would be like the matriarch. Me
And you're
too.
right, kind of does like split up the Jersey and Rhode Island, but we are also similar. We're also a
Very similar.
I know.
Very similar.
I know. Did you watch the Real Housewives of Rhode Island trailer? What did
Yes, and
you
I
think?
loved it.
Yeah.
I think they're great. And you know what I think about them? They're refreshing. I think you're going to see some of the things that housewives used to be. And I heard even at Dorinda's house when they did the girls' trip, the whole girls' trip, they all show up at Dorinda's house. And
Oh,
I heard
really?
that they were fighting like animals,
I love it.
screaming at each other, F this, F that. Oh, yeah. So Dorinda said, if they act like that at my house, could you imagine? They're going to have to have security at the reunion. So I'm looking for, I think that's refreshing.
I
I'm
know.
going to love it.
Let's kind of ended on this. Being on reality TV and building your platform has like taught you anything. What do you think it was?
I'm
Yeah.
going to give all people of your age and all people that are out there that want some kind of a dream, that want certain things in their life. I'm going to tell you my true beliefs, and I'm going to give you some advice coming from a 60-something-year-old woman who pretty much got everything that I wanted. Okay. I light now you could pick your candle. I'm a lavender candle girl. Every morning when I wake up, before I make my coffee, I have my candle by my bed and I
Okay.
have the lighter. And I light the candle. And as I light the candle, I say as is. I'm not going to tell you what my aspirations are, whatever. But let's, for instance, say that you would love to meet the man of your dreams. You'd love to be in a relationship, right? So how you would say it is this: light your candle, say, I am in the most wonderful, healthy relationship with the man of my dreams. I am a top podcaster. I am the most famous Rhode Island makeup artist right now. I am. And that you believe you are. You don't say, I would like to be. I want to be. I am. Right. So I have been doing this for many years. And it's really cute because now Andy Cohen was not in my everyday aspiration. I wanted to be on his show with my book. I
Mhm.
start putting it into the universe and I start saying it on my show, saying it on my show. I said it so many times. And then what happened was when I got it and we put it out, Susanna
Mhm.
from Rhode Island, because
Yep.
my mom passed away 4 years ago, because she knew my mother very well. She goes, your mother's working overtime. So I'm very spiritual. And when I did the show with Andy recently, and I was on with Maddie and Joe, and there was an issue about them saying to Maddie that she had said the last boyfriend was a soulmate. And I could tell that that upset Joe. So when it went to commercial, I said, walked over to them. I said, listen, There are many soulmates. Your dog can be your soulmate. Your friends can be your soulmate. That doesn't necessarily mean one man, one life, one soulmate. There's soulmates can come in all different, all different aspects. So I believe in manifestation, not like the woman from Beverly Hills, not like Amanda. I believe in your own manifestation the way you want it. You say it as is, and it makes you feel so good. And when it happens, you're like, that was supposed to happen. The less negative energy that you bring into your life or you think, don't ever think negative. Always think positive. I know that's hard, especially with what's going on in the world and what's going on, whatever, but when I'm out with my friends and we're driving to the place that we're going to, they're not allowed to talk about death, sickness, a bad date with a boy, none of that. I play the music, they're allowed to sing, blah, 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 because we're going out. If you'd like to discuss your physically challenged situations or you're mentally challenged or you're emotionally, you can call me the next day and we'll talk about it. But when you're out and you're enjoying yourself, be up, be happy, and stop complaining because your mind listens to what you're telling it. So that's my advice to people who are really searching for something that you really want to attain. Say it as is.
I love that advice, and I really do agree because, like, people will even ask me, like, Andrea, how did you get to work with someone like
Yes.
Candy or this or that? First off, before every single thing I do, I'm literally just like, fuck it. I don't even care.
That's right.
It's the truth. It's like, seriously, what's the worst that can happen? You
That
know,
was, listen, you reached out to me. I said, I would love for you to do my makeup. Now, the worst that could have happened, the worst, I could have said, well, I'm sorry, Andrea, I already got somebody or whatever.
yes,
But I would say, but I'd love for you to do it the next time, or I would love to spray tan. Do you
right.
understand? That's the worst. I said, and come and do it all. Like I looked at your work first of all, and I would have been either way. I would have been kind. Okay, but
Of course. Yeah.
of course. But I was like, it was gracious of you to say I would love to do your makeup, or I think that you're this and that. It was very gracious. And, and I was thrilled that you did it and you did a beautiful job. You went out on a limb, just like I did, and told Andy, I want to come promote my book.
And I really do feel like you were one of like the best experiences I've had throughout my past 6 years in business.
Thank you.
And it was just like, I think with the Real Housewives of Rhode Island starting, of course, that was so fun for even like my followers to
I
see.
love that. Let me
Yeah.
just show you the cover of my book also, if your
Yes.
people, because it's
Yes.
kind of,
Let's see it.
it's not, I'm not going to say it's a self-help, but
Okay.
what it is I describe my life and my relationships with men
Yep.
and with whatever. And then I tell everyone what I've learned from each relationship. Here's my book. If anybody's interested, it's on Amazon now.
Yep.
My Life with the Big Boys. You can either purchase on Amazon, or if you want me to sign it, you can go on my website, Posh by Kim D. It's a short read. And honestly, I swear, I'm not plugging my book for their 19, that's not what it is. What it is I believe that I've lived a lot and I could help people with what I've lived through. I see young people are struggling in relationships, and it's hard for girls to meet people now. It's hard, like there's no relationships out there. It's tough. Yeah, I don't want people to think that it's like this really heavy. It's not. You're going to find some fun moments. I do talk about housewives. And then after each chapter, I tell you what I learned from it. And
Uh-huh.
then at the end, I tell you what I learned in life. I've lived a large life. You know that by reading the
Of
book. So,
course. Yeah.
and if anybody needs any advice, you could always DM me. I do
Absolutely.
all my own social media. Congratulations on
Thank
having
you.
your own show. I wish you
Thank you.
nothing but the best.
Thank
And
you.
once it gets started, let's rock and roll again.
Yes, I definitely agree. We'll do a little recap on the Real Housewives,
Yes.
and I know my followers will love that even more than they're gonna love this. So
Listen, I'll be back. I'll be
thank you
back. I
so
think you're
much,
a
Kim.
sweetheart. And
Thank
I
you.
think that you're going after what you want, and I respect that. And listen, it makes me so nice that your people like me. So thank you for liking me.
I swear, not one negative comment.
Thank you so much. And this was
Yes,
such a pleasure,
yes,
Andrea.
you too.
Text me, call me anytime. And
I
if you're
will.
ever in New Jersey, I want you to do my makeup. By the way, May 17th, I'm going to be at City Winery. I'm putting on a
Okay.
show at City Winery in New York. If anybody wants to come, May 17th, you should come. Freddie Diamond will be there. Angel will be there. Lorraine Pooh from the podcast, Get Real with Kim D. So I hope I see you there.
Yes. All right, cool. I will talk to you
Take care,
guys
my
again.
love.
Thank you so much.
It's been a
Have a good
pleasure.
day. Thank
You
you.
too. Bye,
Bye.
sweetheart.